Back by popular demand. Hi guys, this is Connie, and this is another installment of Connie Reads. I figure I have the time right now, and I've been putting it off for far too long. I feel like that's the same introduction I give you all the time. So, we are now into Chapter 2 of Another Fine Myth. Alright. Alright, Chapter 2. Things are not always as they seem. An excerpt from Mandrake. Okay. Once in the woods, I found myself face to face with a snake cat. On another occasion, I encountered a spider bear. Now, faced with a demon, I decided to pattern my behavior after that which had saved me in the aforementioned situations. I froze. At least in hindsight, I like to think it was a deliberate, calculated act. The demon curled its lips back, revealing a double row of needle-sharp teeth. I considered changing my chosen course of action. I considered fainting. The demon ran a purple tongue over his lips and began to slowly extend a taloned hand toward me. That did it. I went backward, not in a cat-like graceful bound, but scrabbling on all fours. It's surprising how fast you can move that way when properly inspired. It's surprising how fast you can move that way when properly inspired. I managed to build up a substantial head of steam before I crashed headfirst into the wall. Gah! I said. It may not seem like much, but at the time it was the calmest expression of pain and terror I could think of. At my outburst, the demon seemed to choke. Several ragged shouts erupted. Then he began to laugh. It wasn't a low, menacing laugh, but the wholehearted, enthusiastic laughter of someone who had just seen something hysterically funny. I found it both disquieting and annoying. Annoying because I had a growing suspicion I was the source of his amusement. Disquieting because, well, he was a demon, and demons are cold, vicious, and bloodthirsty, the demon gasped, as if he had read my thoughts. You really bought the whole line, didn't you, kid? I beg your pardon, I said, because I couldn't think of anything else to say. Something wrong with your ears, I said. Cold, vicious, I heard you. I meant, what did you mean? What I meant was that you were scared stiff by a few well-chosen words from my esteemed colleague, I'll wager. He jerked a thumb at Garkin's body. Sorry for the dramatics. I felt a touch of comic relief was necessary to lighten an otherwise tragic moment. Comic relief? Well, actually, I couldn't pass up the opportunity. You should have seen your face. He chuckled to himself as he strode out of the pentagram and began leisurely inspecting the premises. So this is Garkin's new place, huh? What a dump. Who would have thought he'd come to this? To say I was perplexed would be an understatement. I wasn't sure how a demon should act, but it wasn't like this. I could have bolted for the door, but I did not seem to be in immediate danger. Either this strange being meant me no harm, or he was confident of his ability to stop me even if I tried to flee. For the sake of my nervous system, I had decided to assume the former. The demon continued to inspect the hut while I inspected him. He was humanoid, that is, he had 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. He was short but powerfully built, a bit broader across the shoulders than a man, and heavily muscled. But he wasn't human. I mean, you don't see many hairless humans with dark green scales covering their body and pointed ears lying flat against their head. I decided to risk a question. Excuse me. Yeah, kid? You are a demon, aren't you? Huh? Oh yeah, I guess you could say I am. Well, if you don't mind me asking, why don't you act like a demon? The demon shot me a disgusted look, then turned his head heavenward in a gesture of martyrdom. Everybody's a critic. Tell you what, kid, would you be happier if I tore your throat out with my teeth? Well, no, but for that matter, who are you anyway? Are you an innocent bystander, or did you come with the assassin? I'm with him, I hastened to reply, pointing a shaky finger at Garkin's body. That bit about tearing my throat out had me on edge again. Or at least I was. Garkin, the one who summoned him. I was his student. No kidding. Garkin's apprentice, he began, advancing toward me, reaching out a hand. Please What's wrong? As he moved toward me, I had started backing away from him. I tried to do it casually, but then he had noticed. Well, you're a demon. You are a demon. Yeah, so? Demons are supposed to be... Hey, relax, kid. I don't bite. Look, I'm an old buddy of Garkin's. I thought you said you were a demon. That's right. I'm from another dimension. A dimension traveler. Or demon for short. Get it? What's a dimension? The demon scowled. Are you sure you're Garkin's apprentice? I mean, he hasn't told you anything at all about dimensions? No, I answered. I mean, yes, I'm his apprentice. I'm his apprentice, but he never said anything about the demon sons. That's dimensions, he corrected. Well, a dimension is another world. Actually, one of several worlds existing simultaneously with this one, but on different planes. Follow me? No, I admitted. Well, just accept that I'm from another world. Now, in that world, I'm a magician, just like Garkin. We had an exchange program going where we could summon each other across the barrier to impress our prospective apprentices. I thought you said you were a demon, I said suspiciously. I am. Look, kid, in my world, you'd be a demon. But at the current moment, I'm in yours, so I'm a demon. I thought you said you were a magician. I don't believe this, the demon made his angry appeal to the heavens. I'm standing here arguing with some twerp of an apprentice. Look, kid, he fixed me with his gaze again. Let me try it this way. Are you going to shake my hand, or am I going to rip your heart out? Since he put it that way. I mean, for a minute there, when he lost his temper and started shouting, he sounded just like Garkin. It gave credibility to his claim of friendship with my ex-teacher. I took his extended hand and shook it cautiously. My name is Skeeve. His grip was cold, but firm. So firm, in fact, that I found it impossible to reclaim my hand as rapidly as I would have liked. Pleased to meet ya. I'm Ahaz. Oz? No relation. No relation to what? I asked, but he was examining the room. Well, there's certainly nothing here to arouse the greedy side of his fellow beings. Early, primitive, enduring, but not particularly sought after. We like it, I said, rather stiffly. Now that I was over being scared, I didn't like the sneer in his voice. The hut wasn't much, and I certainly wasn't overly fond of it, but I resented his criticism. I don't get your backup, kid, Ahaz said easily. I'm looking for a motive, that's all. Motive? A reason for someone to off-hold Garkin. I'm not big on vengeance, but he was a drinking buddy of mine, and he's got my curiosity up. He broke off his inspection of the room to address me directly. How about you, kid? Can you think of anything? Any milkmaids he's seduced or farmers he's cheated? I've got an interest in this too, you know. You might be the next target. But the guy who did it is dead, I gestured to the charred lump by the door. Doesn't that finish it? Wake up, kid. Didn't you see the gold cloak? That was a professional assassin. Somebody hired him, and that somebody would hire another one. A chill ran down my spine. I hadn't really thought of that. I began to search my memory for a clue. Well, he said Istvan sent him. What's an Istvan? I don't. Wait a minute. What do you mean? I might be the next target. Neat, huh? Ahaz was holding up the gold cloak, lined and completely reversible. Always wondered how come no one noticed them until they were ready to pounce. Ahaz? Oh, I didn't mean to scare you. It's just someone's declared open season on magicians in general, or Garkins specifically. You might have some... Hello? What's this? What's what? I asked, trying to get a look at what he had found. This, he said, holding his prize aloft. It seems I'm not the only demon about. It was a head, apparently the assassin's. It was badly charred, with bones showing in several places. My natural revulsion at the sight was compounded by several obvious features. The chin and ears of the head were unnaturally pointed, and there were two short, blunt horns protruding from the forehead. A devil? I exclaimed in horror. A what? Oh, a devil. No, it's not from diva. It's from imper, an imp. Didn't Garkin teach you anything? Come again? I asked, but Ahaz was busy scowling at the head. The question is, who would be crass enough to hire an imp for an assassin? The only one I can think of is Istvan, but that's impossible. But that's who did it, don't you remember? I told you. I thought you said what does it say? I thought you said Istvan. I did. Wait a minute. What did you said? I said Istvan. Can't you tell the difference? No, I admitted. Must be too subtle for the human ear to detect. Oh well, no matter. This changes everything. If Istvan is up to his old tricks, there's no time to lose. Hey, wait a minute. What's this? It's a crossbow, I observed, with heat-seeking, armor-piercing quarrels. Is that the norm in this world? Heat-seeking? Never mind, kid. I didn't think so. Well, that tears it. I'd better check this out quick. He began to stride into the pentagram. I suddenly realized he was preparing to leave. Hey, wait a minute. What's going on? It would take too long to explain, kid. Maybe I'll see you again sometime. But you said I might be a target. Yeah, well, that's the way it crumbles. Tell you what, start running, and maybe they won't find you until it's over. My head was a whirl. Things were happening far too fast for clear thought. I still didn't know what or who the demon was, or if I should trust him. But I did know one thing. He was the nearest thing to an ally I had in a situation where I was clearly outclassed. Couldn't you help me? No time. I've got to move. Couldn't I come with you? You'd just get in the way, maybe even get me killed. But without you, I'll be killed. I was getting desperate, but Ahaz was unimpressed. Probably not. Tell you what, kid, I've really got to get going. But just to show you, I think you'll survive. I'll show you a little trick you might use sometime. You see all this crud Garkin used to bring me across the barrier? Well, it's not necessary. Watch close, and I'll show you how we do it when our apprentices aren't watching. I wanted to shout, to make him stop and listen to me, but he had already started. He spread his arms at shoulder height, looked heavenward, took a deep breath, then clapped his hands. Nothing happened. Well, this will make Chapter 3 very interesting. Tune in for the next installment. Be careful with that and enjoy. Please and thank you.